I'm Dr. Vanita Rattan. I'm a doctor, but I'm also a cosmetic formulator specifically for skin of color. So if you know me and you've been watching my channel enough, you're going to be so shocked to watch this particular video, because usually I don't talk about DIY, or I tell you all the reasons not to use DIY because so many of them burn our skin, such as lemon juice, which I see all over YouTube and I think, no. Basically, lemon juice has got a pH of 2, our skin has a pH of about 5, and we have no buffering system, and this then leads to burns. And when we burn, we hyperpigment. Skin of color is very different to Caucasian skin because, as I always say, one scratch, one bite, or one burn, and we pigment. So with Caucasian skin, you can literally burn the top layer of skin away with laser and it's absolutely fine. If you do that to us, we will get hyperpigmentation. So we have to be so much more careful with our skin. And I remember someone the other day saying to me, you know, if it's good enough to eat, it's good enough to put on my face. That's absolutely not correct, because in our stomach we have hydrochloric acid, and actually we can tolerate very low pHs. When we eat them. You know, we can eat acidic food, but your face is not designed for that. There is no buffering system, and it will just burn and lead to a lot of pain. So that is why I tend to always harp on about not using DIY. However, just to prove to you that I am not a nature hater, there are some ingredients that I am very happy for you to use and that are clinically proven to work too. So this video is for those people who do love DIY but want to do it in a safe way. If that sounds good to you, give me a thumbs up. Let's dive right in. Right, starting with number 1, and that is Colloid oatmeal. That's basically when you have a kernel of oats that are ground down into a fine powder. You can then dissolve it into water, into a bathtub, and that's very soothing to your skin. So if you have sensitive skin and you want to have an anti-inflammatory bath, that's actually a great product to put into the bath. The mistake I see being made actually with oats is that people use it in a scrub to exfoliate the skin. That then becomes a physical scrub, and I don't recommend that for skin of color because it leads to micro tears, which leads to sensitivity, damage of the skin barrier, and then hyperpigmentation. So I wouldn't do that. I would use Colloid oatmeal, which is basically like a powder and is great for eczema, or if you've had any surgery and you're having your bath for the first time and the skin feels very sensitive. You can also use Colloid oatmeal, mix it with honey and apply it as a face mask. That is anti-inflammatory and hydrating to the skin. Warning, however, it is messy, but it is soothing to the skin. I personally would prefer a mask that was made for that. So I really like a Naturium Intensive Overnight Sleep Cream. It's a cream mask designed specifically for this function, and so it's less messy and less time consuming. I think for me, maybe being a mum and, you know, working myself so hard, I don't really have a huge amount of time to do DIY. Really, I want convenience, and for me it really is, you know, how do I achieve what I want to achieve in the quickest way possible in all areas of my life, including skincare. So that's probably, you know, one of the reasons I would never have time to make this, but hopefully some of you do and have more relaxed lives than I do and actually enjoy this as well and think of this as a time for self-therapy and self-love, self-care, and I'm absolutely would encourage you to do that. Right, moving on to number 2, and that is green tea that's cooled. I would put it into a spray bottle, and you can use it as an antioxidant and an anti-inflammatory toner before moisturizing. So I'm very happy for you to do that. In addition, obviously, to drinking green tea, which is full of antioxidants too. But this is actually a very cheap way for you to have some key ingredients. Actually, I do love a green tea extract on the skin, and you can use it during the day. It's UV stable, it's great for skin of color, it's great for sensitive skin. So this one I think is worth doing. Moving on to number 3, which is coconut oil. Now I would avoid this for the face, the back, or the chest, where you have increased sebaceous glands, which can then lead to acne. But I'm happy if you use it for the rest of the body. It is anti-inflammatory, it is hydrating. It's good to use after a shower. So once you've packed yourself dry, it's a great way just to lock in moisture into the skin. And it's also good to opt for coconut oil over essential oil. So whenever I get a massage, I bring my own coconut oil because yeah, I'm a little bit extra like that. So I bring my own coconut oil and ask them to do that instead of the essential oils, because essential oils are skin sensitizers and I do not want that on my whole body, head to toe. It may smell nice, but my skin will be itchy and very irritated. So if you have similar skin to me, then I would opt for coconut oil and take it with you. Okay, now number 4, and that is aloe. So aloe is basically a jelly liquid that's full of fats, vitamins and amino acids. It's anti-inflammatory and it's cooling. And it's great for immediate sunburn. So my husband gets very sensitive skin, especially in the sun. And I remember we were on holiday and this man was walking around with aloe and he would just open it up and literally put it onto the skin for you. It was probably the most natural skincare we'd ever done, but actually my husband felt relief from it and, you know, loved it. It's obviously not going to be that practical, but it does have great qualities. Moving on to number 5, and that is chamomile tea bags that have cooled. So once they've cooled, you can put them into the fridge and then they can behave as a cold compress on inflammation or if you've recently burnt your skin. Also, tannins are in tea, which are also anti-inflammatory. And moving on to the most popular one that everyone asks me about, and this is rice water. So it's basically rich in minerals, antioxidants, your vitamin E, vitamin B. And so it helps with anti-aging and can be quite moisturizing. So the way it works, basically rice that is boiled, you can remove the rice, the water that's left behind, reboil it to stop the fermentation, and that is considered rice water. Or alternatively, if you're lazy like me, then you just get your rice, and when I soak it, for example, for 30 minutes or an hour before I cook it, you can decant the water on top, and that is also your rice water. This is actually quite good to use as the second part of your double cleanse. So after you've used your oil melting cleanser, whichever one you want to use is fine. This is the one that I use from our range, which is down below, the oil melting cleanser. Instead of using Micellar Gel Wash, you can use rice water as well. Some people also use it on the scalp, which I'm very happy for you to do too. I always say for the scalp, avoid oil on the scalp directly. You want to use water-based tonics for hair growth. The reason being that we have a yeast which feeds on oil and then leads to dandruff and itchy scalps. And once you have an unhealthy scalp, that leads to brittle hair that breaks easily, which I do not want for us. It's a myth that you should be putting hair on the scalp. Put hair on the strands of the hair, because you want to basically coat the hair and to keep moisture locked into the hair without the cuticles coming out. So it smooths the hair shaft, but you don't want it on the scalp directly. As you know, I'm in the comment section for 1 hour at the launch of every single video, so make sure you hit that notification bell and do subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram. I've got 2 accounts, Skincare by Dr. V and Dr. Vanita Rattan. You can join our private Facebook group called Dr. V Sock Family. Please do get yourself a copy of Skin Revolution, which I wrote with HarperCollins. They were an amazing publisher, and you can purchase this from Amazon. The link is down below too. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Bye.